Hey everyone! Thank you for joining us for the next session of our Spotlight on GitHub Advanced Security series. My name's Anna, your producer for this session. I'm an event planner for Reactor, joining you from Redmond, Washington. Before we start, I do have some quick housekeeping. Please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We seek to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, we ask that you please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional and on topic. Keep an eye on that chat. We'll be dropping links and checking for questions for our presenters to answer live. Our session is being recorded. It will be available to view on demand right here on the Microsoft Reactor channel. With that, I'd love to turn it over to our presenters for today. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you, Anna. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, we are diving into the real enterprise transformation story, how Cisco scaled security and developer velocity with GitHub Advanced Security powered by Opsera. So I am joined by two fantastic leaders, Michael.
Hey, Matt. Good connecting with you, and thank you for having me. Anna, thank you for hosting the show as well. Hey, I lead engineering operations at the cybersecurity division at Cisco, and one of my charters is to enable latest and greatest technologies, and GitHub Advanced Security and Opsera are definitely the two flagship technologies that we have adopted recently.
Terrific. Glad you're here. And Vishnu, our own Vishnu.
Hello, everyone. This is Vishnu Vasudevan. I'm the Chief Product Officer here with Opsera and also founding member. And been working on this awesome product, like with Opsera, partnering with GitHub, like providing the DevOps platform for the enterprises, like to offer DevOps solutions at scale and also unified insights with AI intelligence for the executives or developers to take actionable intelligence from the data point of it. Thank you.
Terrific. So we're going to cover the challenges that Cisco faced, how they measured success, managed change at scale, and the business impact of data-driven security. So let's jump in. So Michael, Cisco had thousands of developers or has thousands of developers and repos. What was the key challenge that made you say, hey, we need to change the way we're approaching security?
So I can speak specifically for the cybersecurity division at Cisco. We have a large footprint of customers and partners, and to serve on the customers' needs, we have many talented engineering folks here. So in terms of challenges, I think, Matt, one and a key one to articulate that we have been building cybersecurity division over many years. And quite often, the growth has been through acquisitions of new teams and technologies. So as a result, we have a lot of legacy technology and legacy tools that we were looking to rationalize and modernize with the latest tech. So that's been the challenge that we've been navigating in the last couple of years.
Great, thank you. And Vishnu, from our side, from the Opsera side, what stood out about the Cisco situation compared to other enterprises?
I think we met Michael probably last year around September-October timeframe, like where they are basically getting into the GitHub ecosystem, right? Like enabling Copilot for improving the developer velocity and experience, and also like looking into the GHAS. So the challenge that like we had is to basically understand like how can we give metrics based on the organization hierarchy, where Cisco being a global organization, right, they have developers sitting across the globe, right? Like instead of we offering at the GitHub organization level, we had the capability to basically provide insights based on the region, location, vendors, and also by the leaders, so that like we'll be able to identify where the bottlenecks, inefficiencies coming in, especially when the change transformation is coming in. So that was one of the things that stood out for us, because we need to basically integrate more than one system, like in this case, like a workday hierarchy system, to give them in terms of the metrics based on the organization, and then the team, and then the vendors and region. So that stood out for us to basically like take up this challenge, and we basically implemented it. And now they are able to basically measure the insights based on different user personas, and they are able to basically make decisions.
I'm glad, Vishnu, you're not saying that's the biggest challenge was working with Michael and his team. So that's music to my ears, and thank you. But I appreciate that we have a significant level of complexity and giving our footprint and corporate kind of push on access and IP and all the other governance topics. You guys have done an amazing job navigating all those hurdles to provide the best service and best solutions that we can expect.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So let's look at the scale of the results. So Michael, when we're talking about single pane of glass and visibility of all the vulnerabilities across the board, what was this important for Cisco?
Well, so we have started with multiple solutions that we have been using in the security space before we adopted GitHub Advanced Security. So specifically, without mentioning the companies, we had 4 various vendors providing solutions for to design and build the secure code. So instead of 4, we are using one vendor, GitHub Advanced Security, as a solution for our engineering community. So that transition has been really successful. We started with a small footprint with a handful of engineers embracing GHAS. And then now we are at 75% of the total population using GitHub Advanced Security, with a remainder of 25 to be moved in the coming few months.
Okay. And Vishnu, from your perspective, anything you'd like to add?
No, right? Like the biggest thing is, right, like especially when organization is moving from traditional security tools to GitHub Advanced Security, there's a significant change when it comes to developer experience, right? Because GHAS has like a lot of like value-add features in terms of auto remediation and everything, and like you need visibility in terms of like how this change transformation is coming in, how the developers are using it, what is the risk is exposed, and that's where GHAS plus Copilot and then Opsera, we are able to offer the insights to Cisco and other customers where they'll be able to make actionable intelligence out of it.
That's
I think
great.
to add to that, Matt, to Vishnu, your point, which is very accurate, and I think it's relevant to all companies who are embracing AI technologies. So at Cisco, we are AI first culture. We're promoting AI tools in every single workload that we have. And having deployed GHAS to the engineering community and getting positive feedback and endorsement from engineers, the next logical question we had was, how do we measure the benefits we are getting from GHAS? How do we quantify the benefits from the investment that we have made? So with Vishnu working with your team and other engineering folks at Opsera, we are crafting that solution to see and quantify the benefits that we are seeing from GHAS. Now, for now, we are seeing some KPIs, but I'm really looking forward to see the full picture of the benefits we're getting from GHAS.
Okay.
Yeah, just to add a point, Matt, right? Like the real life experience, we have been using GitHub Copilot, right? Like my own team. So Copilot writes great code and team is able to commit to it. But like there are certain portions of the code still like it's written by humans. Like for instance, you have an authentication into your code. You need to basically pass some tokens or like authentication mechanism. And if by mistake, like a developer commits a code of a Azure tokens or like GitHub tokens, and they make it as a public repo, and you're going to expose big time, and that's basically going to put your company at risk. So with Copilot writing the awesome code, and then like you have this GHAS coming into the picture, it can basically prevent the commit. Even if there is a code that is basically sitting for 2 years, now GHAS coming in, if I take the code and like refactor it, commit it back, it's going to stop the commit saying that like, oh, there is a secret expose, there is a code scan issues, and you can auto remediate quickly without waiting for the security team and come and tell you what's going to happen, like how it needs to be fixed. So that's where the whole lot of value comes in with GitHub Copilot GHAS. and you can basically measure everything through Opsera as a single pane of glass.
So I mean, this is amazing, right? I mean, this is getting us to the next level. But Michael, could you take us back a little bit? What life was like before GitHub Advanced Security for your team? Did you have alert fatigue, long remediation cycles, complying pressures slowing you down?
Well, life before AI has been phenomenal. No, obviously, specifically on a GHAS adoption, before we embraced GHAS, the challenge we had was the multiple tools that folks have been using. So firstly, the complexity was like managing all the vendors that we had. So all the renewals, all the updates, and ton of other related topics has been significant complexity. Secondly is inconsistency of using the tools and the processes and seeing those vulnerabilities within the ecosystem. That was really a challenge because interpretation of various vulnerabilities has been different across the teams. So so when we shifted to GitHub Advanced Security, obviously that ecosystem has dramatically has improved. So thirdly is, the GHAS is well connected with Copilot and GitHub as a source code management tool. So that simplicity of ecosystem for developers is really amazing. And we have strong positive feedback from the developers. So far it's been really positive journey, Matt, and I'm excited with things that we're doing for the future.
That's great. Thank you for that. So moving on. So some leaders are worried that stronger security, mostly on the application side, engineering side, stronger security will slow down the developers down, right? But Cisco saw the opposite. The pull requests got faster, productivity increased. How did you make that happen?
Well, so the actual quantification by how how things have improved, we are working on that. But initial views are definitely positive in terms of speed, efficiency that we're getting both from GHAS and from simplified ecosystem that I mentioned earlier. I want to be careful in terms of the actual time saved and number of resources optimized, because that's a sensitive topic and obviously situational depending on the complexity of the code and things folks are working on. But we're definitely seeing positive experience for the developers, as well as operational efficiencies that we're getting as a result of simplified ecosystem for the developers.
Okay. Yes, and Vishnu, how does Opsera help customers see both velocity and security improvements together?
Yeah, so we have a lot of enterprises, Fortune 10 to Fortune 500, where we have custom developers sitting at 5,000 people to 25,000. And we have seen significant improvement, especially with Copilot, where we have 35% plus acceptance rate, where 25-30% of the code coming from Copilot. With GHAS coming in, I have heard customers saying that they are able to resolve the critical code issues or the security vulnerabilities or code smells and bugs in less than 8 hours, right? Previously, it basically goes into the backlog. It requires a separate sprint, prioritization, everything. Now they're saying that their developers are able to fix it as part of the sprint. That way, they basically have a security mindset when they basically write the code, which is going to be a significant improvement what we have seen in the past, right? Because in the past, it's always reactive. Now it's all going to be proactive, and people are able to basically deliver quality products with security when they basically push the code to production with GitHub ecosystem.
Yeah. So essentially, you shift from being reactive to proactive, right?
Yeah, and also the biggest difference is, right, prior to Copilot and then your GHAS, people use GitHub and then they use traditional security tools, which is a different tool altogether. And then they don't have Copilot, right? Now it's being one ecosystem. The developer doesn't have to scramble or go learn a different product, the security product to basically incorporate into their coding standards. Now being one platform and it basically being auto remediation and automatic, it's basically improving the developer experience. That's by improving the developer productivity and also the security, like from the enterprise standpoint.
So that's very interesting. So Michael, for a company like Cisco, what cultural shift did you see? How did developers become true security champions?
Well, obviously, we had to find the early adopters of the tools because, as with any new technology, folks were questioning, hey, is it additional tax that this will be on myself and my team, or is it a positive new tool that we should be embracing? So I had a set of champions who were eager to give it a try, run a POC, shared, respond to the feedback. And the feedback, the learnings from that POC has been really successful and was useful to add other teams joining the trial of GitHub Advanced Security. So slowly we just evolved to a much larger footprint, overcoming various, I guess, other complexities that we had on the team. I think I'm fortunate to have a lot of folks who are passionate to use AI tools and be, ahead of others within Cisco as well as possibly in industry. So this is why our footprint has been so growing so fast in adopting GHAS in a very short time.
All right. And so Vishnu, how does Opsera dashboard reinforce that cultural shift, right?
Yeah, so
in a daily workflow.
Yeah, as I said, right, like Opsera has the native integration with the organization hierarchy, where we'll be able to provide insights with each organization, like within an enterprise and also at the developer level, to basically say like who is using the Copilot, who is not using it. And then like it basically gives a talking point for the leads or the managers to understand why they are not able to use it, right? Like we have seen in the past that organization which has like legacy code, like where they basically have some struggles in terms of like using the greatest and latest. That's where the GitHub team basically can come and give them the training or build the champions to basically see how they can bring the cultural transformation on the teams that is struggling. That way it becomes a ripple effect for everybody in the organizations to start using it. It's no longer a competition. It has become part of life now, AI. And people, they just have to see like what is the value that they're going to get out of it, and they should be able to get insights, that particular set of insights from Opsera by different angle. With our Hummingbird.ai, they can simply ask questions in terms of, hey, give me the risk exposure for this particular secret scan that's been like exposed for a longer time, right? We'll be able to tell exactly what is that. Then it basically like allows the team to have a meaningful conversation and get it done like in terms of the data-driven like actions.
I think just to echo the point, Matt, that Vishnu mentioned, the training and development has been also instrumental for us to go fast at scale with adopting GHAS. So thanks to Ryan Murdoch and Microsoft team for multiple trainings we had on GHAS, excuse me, showing the value, showing the specifics of the tools, so folks can comfortably embrace it and see the benefit in their life. So those combination of things, and obviously partnership with Opsera on the insights has been really useful for us.
Yeah, great partnership there. Thank you. So let's shift to the business, Vishnu. Opsera helps quantify ROI. What's the difference between showing raw metrics to showing business impact?
So when it comes to ROI, right, like people talk about like what is I have invested like on GitHub Copilot, I'm paying like about $19 in licensing cost and gas, like about different dollar cost, right? What is the value that they're going to get out of it? With Opsera, we'll be able to tell who is using what and like what lines of code it's basically coming in, and like what is the commit that basically has come in with secrets or the the tokens or with the code security vulnerabilities, and we'll be able to measure the time it took for the developers to basically make the commit into the system, and like that gets converted into PR. So that way you'll be able to compare the data. Okay, without Copilot, without GHAS, it took like 3 days for a developers to make a commit. With Opsera, now they're able to make it like 30x faster, like 2 days faster, 3 days faster. That's basically a savings from the time perspective, which you can always like equate it to the business value in terms of dollar, like from the developer, the dollar per developer, however, whatever that is, right? So that's where we are able to basically provide the business value and ROI, measuring the actual value and impact, not just because like developer is using Copilot and GHAS. And we measure it based on the commits, PRs, and then the pipeline that basically pushes the code into production.
Great.
I think, Matt, if you wouldn't mind adding one more point to the value that you guys have at Opsera, and it's the insights, the actionable insights that you are sharing when looking at the work that engineering folks are driving, and that has been really useful for our teams. I forgot the functionality, how it's called. Is it Hummingbird Insight?
Yep.
Mhm.
That's it. See, my memory serves me well today. And those insights are really helpful, the way they are structured and the fact that they are practical for the engineering teams to act and address various vulnerabilities or issues in the code. So this is what I'm counting when we fully deploy Opsera to everyone, for folks to leverage those insights and go faster with development work and rectifying various issues that the Opsera tool is finding in the code.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then, so Vishnu, how does data from Opsera give the executive the confidence that those improvements will last, right?
So with the before and after data, right? Like we're not just going to just tell like what is happening in the ecosystem, and if there is a downfall in terms of the usage on the Copilot or the GHAS, we can tell like where these gaps are coming from. Maybe the team has moved into a different organization altogether. That's where you see the downfall, or like the capacity has changed because the organization priority has changed. We'll be able to tell like what exactly those changes are coming in, which is basically having the impact, so that like they can basically take an actionable decision, right? For instance, the team has been working on a Go language, and now there is a change in prioritization going into Python, and you see all of a sudden there is no like value and impact on the Copilot coming on Go language. Why? Because team is working on the Python, and you can see the same value shifted to a different language, and different product is being developed. And if there is a real like downtrends in terms of the usage, you can understand why it is. Maybe the new team members have come in, or like maybe some other priorities basically impacting this. And this level of decision, the information from the insights will help the leadership to basically take an action in terms of either training or in terms of like giving the readout back to the leadership to understand why there is a change in the insights and how they can basically make it in a way that like it's not basically like going upwards and downwards like in the future as well.
Thank you. Michael, do you want to add anything?
Well, I think I'll probably just reiterate the point I mentioned earlier. So when we were looking at various vendors to help us with reporting and seeing the value, measure the benefits we're getting from the AI tools, and specifically from GHAS and Copilot, a number of vendors can provide reports, right? Just the stats of whatever lines of code suggested by Copilot, or number of secrets detected by GHAS or similar tool. But the value that the teams have been seeing from Opsera is the insights. And that was definitely a winning point for you guys. Just wanted to share that insight that obviously we shared with you previously. Because those insights save a lot of time. They are actionable, they're practical for the teams, and that's what we find really valuable.
Great, thank you. Next question is for Vishnu. As a CPO, what principle guided you to design the Opsera dashboard to serve both the engineers and the executive in the boardroom?
Yeah, so today if you look at like many of the DevOps platform, right, like or like insights solution providers, they offer insights in a siloed way. They don't offer in a correlated and contextualized fashion. especially when it comes to AI, right? Developers using Copilot within the laptop, they commit the code using GHAS. And then beyond that, you have security tools, you have quality tools, and then like you have change body governance and everything. And there is no AI into the picture. That's where Opsera basically offers the unified insights with inner loop and outer loop, where we correlate and contextualize. Okay, developer experience is improved, developer productivity is improved, but still you are taking X amount of days to push your code to production because you don't have automation or you don't have AI into the outer loop mechanism, and where they will be able to basically make a decision. That's one of the key aspects that we basically uh, uh, like kept in mind when we started designing the entire dashboard. The second aspect is we don't want to basically give insights in such a way where we penalize a team or a developer or like a particular leadership for something going wrong, right? There might be multiple reasons which you may not be contributing it, but the team is having the impact. So we want to basically bring that level of insights into the dashboard so that like the team will be able to work towards a goal to resolve those kind of bottlenecks and inefficiencies and basically get to the maturity level. So these are the key framework that we kept in mind when we built the dashboards. And we don't want to just offer a siloed unified insights just on Copilot or the GHAS. What happens a Copilot code comes in, how long it takes, what is the security implication, what is the quality implication, how did the developer experience coming along, how is the quality engineering experience coming along. When it goes to production, what is your MTTR looking like, or mean time to acknowledge an incident looking like. We want to give the end-to-end insights. That is where like Opsera stands out when compared to any other products in the market.
Right. And the next one's for you, Michael. If you had to pick one headline results from Cisco's journey, the one you share with any enterprise leaders, what would it be?
Just to understand the question, Matt, what did you say? Sorry, can you repeat again, please?
If you had to pick just one headline result from Cisco's journey, and you would share that with everyone, what would it be?
Well, so I want to be specific about Cisco security team, the cybersecurity group that I'm part of. I think that the headline I would say, and I'm really proud of the work that the team has done, and the broader engineering folks, is how fast they embrace the new tools. In this case, GHAS, Copilots, as well as Opsera. Obviously, there's always more work to be done. But I recall when we started using Copilots, the feedback was like, hey, this is like middle school models. And this is, we are very early in the journey of the benefits we could get from AI. But throughout the journey from middle school to the current status of things, we've been adamant to use the technology and benefit for our customers. So I think the early adopters mindset, Matt, is one point. The second is, hey, despite the complexity and the size of the team, I'm impressed with the pace, how folks have adopted the AI technologies and tools, and eager to use the latest technology to serve better customer needs. This has been so far most kind of pleasant experience that I have in learning as well with this. So change is possible, and change is definitely mostly positive, at least in my experience here.
Yeah, I like it. So change is possible. That's what I took out of it. All right. And so what's next, Vishnu?
Yeah. So I would like to basically give a quick demo in terms of like what Opsera can offer. Like if you're especially in the journey of using Copilot and GHAS or getting into Copilot and GHAS, and we can basically quickly give some sort of insights, how to basically measure the value and impact from the enterprise standpoint and also from the developer experience, right? So these are the three key areas that you can measure, and you'll be able to basically see the value immediately instead of waiting for 2 months, 3 months to understand whether a product is working or not. So I can basically go into a demo and do a quick walkthrough on like what we offer in terms of Copilot, GHAS, and other metrics.
Perfect. Are we waiting for Anna?
Okay. Believe you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yep. So this is a like Opsera insights on Copilot, right? Like you can see a lot of tabs in terms of developer usage, Copilot Pulse, where you can basically understand the value and impact from the dollar standpoint, your code base activity. So some of the key metrics that we shared, right? Like in terms of using Copilot, we can see the PRs going 3x faster, and you can basically click this code base activity. We'll be able to provide these metrics irrespective of like the tools that you're using. We can go back in past as well, like the last 1 year, and understand what is the time to PR it was taking. Like from 180 days, it has improved like 9%. The cycle time has improved by 62%, which is great, right? When I say cycle time, from the time code basically gets into commit into a merge request, right? 62% is significant. And the lead time for change is about like 7%, right? You can compare it to last 6 months, 1 year, or even beyond that. And you can also compare in terms of like what is the time taken for user between Copilot versus non-Copilot. We can say that exactly in terms of how many developers are using Copilot in a given point in time and how many lines of code they basically added into the ecosystem. And we can compare and tell you in terms of PRs, cycle time, and lead time for changes as well. So one of the key aspects I was talking about is the filters, right? You can have filters in terms of either by the GitHub organizations or by the like the hierarchy filters, SVP, VP, director, supervisor level, or by the vendors or the geolocation. So you can slice and dice the information the way you want to measure, and also you can exclude languages. For instance, like you have a team of like 10 people working on Golang, Python, and JavaScript, and you can basically just measure that language alone and exclude the languages where developers are trying to learn. That way you can measure exactly what is the value that like enterprise are getting out of Copilot. While doing so, we have incorporated the security dashboard as well within the GitHub Copilot, because Copilot with human code coming in and then the GHAS will be able to tell you like how much of secrets have been blocked, how many secrets have been bypassed, and like what is your code scanning trends looking like, and how is your quality is coming along, right? Like you have more Jira defects coming in like when the code is getting committed. And then you'll also be able to measure the actual lines of code committed by the Copilot developers. In this case, if you look at, you have total of 92 developers, but only 19 developers have Copilot licenses, and the total lines of code written, and what is the Copilot contribution coming out of it, right? Like when it goes into production, you'll be able to get these metrics by double clicking it. Or you are a leader and you want to understand like in just one single click Hummingbird.ai. It's basically going to tell you what is the average time to take, like time to PR, cycle time, and like what is the actionable insight that you can take. And this insight is going to come in like based on the persona who you are, right? Like you can be a CTO, or you can be a VP, you can be a director, or you can be a developer. We'll be able to provide this information, and you can also have a chat with Hummingbird.ai from the data standpoint, and you'll be able to get the metrics out of it. Okay, this is on the Copilot. Now, if you want to measure like how your premium requests are coming in, because GitHub recently announced the premium request. Now, if you want to understand how many premium requests are being used, and like what are the different models being used, and like how many models are being used, and the total quota violations within your organization last 180 days, or like last 30 days, 7 days, you'll be able to slice and dice and get this information, and also like talk to Hummingbird.ai, and you can go deep into this data instead of like you basically trying to get more information by talking to multiple people. That's where Opsera stands out, because we not just provide insights, we can go deep into 3 levels, 4 levels within the KPI on the dashboard, or use our Hummingbird AI to ask any questions pertaining to this data that we basically display, and you'll be able to get the information that you're looking for to basically make the actionable decision.
That's awesome. Hey, Vishnu, do we have access to this functionality already? Is there something that's going to come in the next release?
We can enable it, right? Like I think the AI part, we're just waiting for the team to work with the security team to get it approved. I think it's enabled, I believe, but I can check on that and get back to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to see it.
Terrific. That's great. Well, thank you, Vishnu. Do you need to show anything else?
Yeah, I'm getting into the GHAS, right? The biggest part. So if you look at the GHAS analysis, right, like you want to understand the cost analysis of it, like how many codes can alerts opened, closed automatically, or how many secrets basically bypassed or like revoked secrets. You can basically have one single pane of glass, and here you can basically see here how many secrets been bypassed. When I basically open this, I can see there are one or two secrets, right? Like based on the information, it's bypassed. That means the GHAS has been trying to stop it, but the developer says, "Hey, this is critical. I'm going to basically push this code." And now you can see the status is open. Now you as a leader, you can basically go talk to the developer and understand why this personal token has been like pushed into the code, right? Now, if you want to understand the impact of this, like we have this Hummingbird AI. If you look at here, I just want to understand what is the dollar value and risk on the code scan alerts from the industry standards, right? Instead of you basically understanding the dollar value on the risk and then the impact, we can basically get all this information with the chat, which you can basically use it for your leadership discussion. And also you can basically have some follow-up questions to understand what is the breakdown on the severity and trends, right? And if you want some recommendations to basically like come up with a training or like to see how you can just improve the developer experience bringing the GHAS, our Hummingbird AI is going to give you a step-by-step approach for you based on the different team or the region, and you'll be able to use it like accordingly to implement those processes into the ecosystem. And again, as I said, when we basically like offer this, we offer it at the organization level or at the hierarchy, organization hierarchy, or the vendors or the geolocation. So you can really slice and dice the information the way you want and look into the cost analysis based on the filters, and we'll be exactly tell you like how much cost you have saved using GitHub Advanced Security, and also like how much risk that you have been exposed based on the data that like you have within your repository with respect to vulnerabilities, bugs, code smells, or the secret that's been exposed.
That's great.
Is there any questions coming in like that you can answer?
We can check. So can go back to my screen, Anna, and then so thank you very much. Thank you for both. Thank you, Vishnu, sharing the insights. That was that was great. And thank you all for joining us. We've seen how Cisco transformed developer velocity and security through GHAS and Opsera and delivered measurable ROI, cultural change, and enterprise-wide scale. So thank you very much for this past 40 minutes. We'll open it up for questions. Anybody online has any question for Vishnu or Michael?
I hope all the questions will be to Vishnu. He's the creator of magic and the dashboards that we saw. So
no, the credit goes to the team because like they have been like living and breathing within the GitHub ecosystem, like with the new features coming in pretty much every day. And kudos to the GitHub team to basically build an awesome developer platform to improve the developer experience. Now we can see that like everything is coming to light with developers getting into a lot of the GitHub products, and now Opsera basically being the linchpin to basically bring these insights together with correlated and contextualized fashion.
I could not agree more with you on that. So specifically, Sonia has been totally phenomenal in acting on our requests and in a structural way, sharing us the feedback and updates. So thank you so much, Sonia, if you want to call that.
Okay. Any questions? I'm looking at my own channels here. We could cover some of the frequently asked questions, Vishnu.
And just some interesting. So one question people are asking is, if I connect to Opsera, and I've been using GitHub ecosystem for like last 1 month. Previously, I was in different legacy tool. Can I basically compare the metrics with the legacy tool going into the GitHub? What is the value? The answer is absolutely yes. We can connect to your legacy tools and then take the data for last 4 or 5 months, like look into your GitHub and provide you insights in terms of how GitHub is basically like helping your developers, improving the developer experience and productivity, and Opsera has the capability to do that as well.
Great. I'm not able to access the chat. If you have a question, please post it in on the comment section.
Whilst we're waiting for other questions, Matt, I thought to check Vishnu with you. What has been the biggest learning for you and your team on this journey so far?
Reactive, right? In that sense, like with the AI coming in, lot of new features coming from GitHub, and we have to be reactive because like we need to basically bring the value back to the customers when the product gets into the hands of customers from the GitHub side. The biggest advantage is we are using Copilot as well and GHAS that basically enables us to deliver the product faster. And another challenge is, I wouldn't say as a challenge, but we got a lot of learning from Cisco's engagement, right? Because Cisco is not one company, it has multiple products, and you basically have a lot of acquisitions coming in with different process, different teams, different people coming in. How do we basically bring insights in a way that like everybody can understand, so that like they don't feel like pressurized or penalized? And that's where like with the leadership support of Cisco and also the way that like the teams are basically accepting the changes, it's been a great learning curve for us. And it's basically adopt and adapt method, right? Like with Cisco is able to adopt to Opsera and GitHub, and we are able to adapt to the change request that is coming in, where we can basically bring the value back to you. And that's been a greatest learning curve, I would say. And it's pretty much every day we are learning with the new changes coming in and with the different set of people that we are working with.
Yeah, I could not agree more with you on those points, but I think additional observation for us been how nimble you guys are. Again, back to Somi and other folks who are very fast. You mentioned reactive, but it's very constructive and fast handling of various requests that we have and various changes that we were seeing from GitHub. So that's a huge kudos to you and the team.
Yeah, I think like I should basically thank you, Michael, and your team, because you don't just basically just give the feedback, and you brainstorm with us in terms of like what is that like is going to add value. And when you basically give insights, you don't basically think from your team perspective, right? You basically think about how the industry is looking into this AI and like any new products coming in. And your valuable insights and feedback has basically like improved our product significantly. And I know we basically like went back and forth on multiple conversations, but that definitely helped not just Opsera, but also the rest of the customers as well. And we also believe in one thing. We believe in building the painkillers, not the vitamins. So, and you have basically like, you have helped us build those painkillers, like bringing the value back to the customers through the product.
Cool. Well, I thought that I'm good on vitamin C provision only, but okay. Well, so it's a team sport, I think, both on our side, Vishnu, but also it's joint effort with you on this journey. And hey, we are all embracing AI and learning along the way. As I mentioned, we started when Copilot was, as Microsoft team was saying, is like middle school level and the value that we could be getting. And obviously, we progressed together, and we're seeing tremendous changes and evolutions of Copilot as well as GHAS.
Yeah, and I mean, I second that, right? I mean, if you look at one of the challenge that Vishnu is facing is that, I mean, what Vishnu's team is facing is that there is clearly a lot of velocity happening around AI and the release of new code. But on top of that, the customer requirements are changing accordingly, right? And so we are here to help and support those customers, and therefore have to find have to create that velocity internally so we can accommodate all of the customer requests, right? And so kudos to Vishnu for that and his team. There is a question here that's coming up. It's from many platforms like GitLab or Harness provide CI. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love this technology. Provide CI/CD plus some integrations, but they're still quite opinionated. How does your platform avoid vendor lock-in?
Okay, so Opsera is a unified DevOps platform. If you look at like GitLab or Harness, they only solve a particular use case with respect to deploying your code to cloud, or like providing some like pipeline integration to SDLC. But Opsera being one platform, you can use this platform for Salesforce-based integrations, for DevOps, automation, Informatica, SnapLogic, SDLC, infrastructure as a code. On top of it, we provide unified insights, right? And we basically built this platform based on like where we want to basically meet the developers where they are, rather basically like asking you to change the tool, whatever that's been already implemented. And we don't want to basically like throw away that tool and like you start using Opsera. So that's where Opsera basically stands like unique, because it's one unified platform for all apps, teams, and any tool that you have in your ecosystem. On top of it, you get unified insights starting from the developer laptop until the code goes into production, irrespective of the product that you're basically building.
Thank you for this. And there's another one from the same person. For enterprise deep in Jenkins Azure DevOps, what is the aha moment to switch?
Okay. Looking at Jenkins and Azure DevOps, you need somebody who needs to know like writing the YAML or the Groovy script or declarative script in Java to basically build the pipelines. And again, when they build it based on their team's requirement or the application requirement. And when it comes to the scaling, it's going to be very difficult because every team and application will have different needs. The biggest aha moment with Opsera is, okay, I need to basically do a Docker build and deploy to like going into cloud. You can use GitHub Actions using YAML and use Opsera to basically build those pipelines without you writing a single piece of code. On top of it, you basically measure the insights before like coming into GitHub Actions, Opsera, and using Jenkins and Azure DevOps. You can clearly see the huge difference in terms of developer experience and velocity, and also the improvement on the CI/CD process.
That's great. Great. Any other questions? All right. Anything that you guys would like to add? No? Okay. So we put our contact information in the comment. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any additional questions or would like to dive deeper in any of the solutions we discussed today. But again, I would like to thank everybody for attending today, and thanks again, Michael and Vishnu, for their insights.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Matt.
Thank you, folks, for hosting this session. And look, if we could help other teams on this AI journey of adopting Microsoft solutions or Opsera, happy to help, because collective learning will lead to collective benefit and benefit for our customers and partners as well. So let's make it together.
Terrific.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the partnership.
Of course.
Thank you all for joining, and thank you to our speakers. This session is a part of a series. To register for future shows and watch past episodes on demand, You can follow the link on the screen or in the chat. We're always looking to improve our sessions and your experience. If you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear what you have to say. You can find that link on the screen or in the chat. We'll see you at the next one.